Okay, so this video is gonna be a little different. I don't even know where to start. But this is iPhone 11 in 2023. It almost been with me for 3.5 years at this point. So let me tell you about my experience with it and what you can expect if you buy it, and should you even buy it or not. Well, the first and foremost thing you're gonna look at is the design and build quality. To be honest, this is still one hell of a good looking and good feeling device on the hand. For me, I think I really love the curvy sides a lot more than the flat sides of the newer iPhones. But then again, it reminds me of the iPhone 6 era designs. The whole build quality is top notch, even though the glass back is glossy, which also is a fingerprinted. But for me, it's a green color device. It's a very minty green device. It doesn't show fingerprints as much, but hey, it's fingerprinted for sure. The best part is that even at this time, Apple wasn't using just only silver and the black sides. They were also color-coded, even the USB port inside, the USB 2.0 Lightning port. Such a good premium feeling device. I can't really say anything wrong about the whole design and build. It's fantastic, even today. And for me, my phone is still in pristine conditions. But what about everything else? Well, the display is something that I have the biggest problem. And there are two major problems in the display department. You might be thinking it's the IPS panel. No, actually it isn't. This IPS panel is one of the best LCD panels in the market, but with two big cons. And that is not the refresh rate either. I'm still fine with the 60Hz on iPhone. The major reason is actually the iPhone animations have more frames than it is on the Android side. So yes, it is a slightly outdated display. It's IPS, it's 60Hz, but that's not the problem for me. The problem is actually in the resolution department. It's a little over 720p, about 820p or so, not even 1080p. I just don't know why Apple thought that is a good idea to put a below 1080p display in an iPhone that will cost over $1,000 in certain markets. The videos on YouTube doesn't look that much sharp on it. You will feel it in every single day, and I really hate it that it is not even 1080p. The second big complaint is the brightness. The peak brightness is about 650 nits or so. And that is real low to use today. Because whenever I go out, I can't really see anything on the display. And even then, it will drain your battery like crazy fast, because it just heats up the phone a lot. But yeah, one good thing is that the display size is still good, 6.1 inch, even though there is very thick bezels, which is due to the fact that Apple wanted to have symmetrical bezels with IPS LCD panels. So back then, the technology wasn't as advanced, so they had to do this. But now it feels like a little too oldish phone with that thick bezels and the notch. And talking about the notch and stuff, well, the notch is incredibly wide, but also I never really mind it as much, because iOS is something that is optimized in a way that you won't really need to look at that place all that often. But when you do, like you watch a video full screen or you are reading a news on the website, that's when you feel like the notch is interrupting. But Face ID is a great technology. I really love it, but it also doesn't work in landscape mode or anything like that the iPhone 13 does support. Yeah, it has cons and pros. I am kind of accustomed to, because I also have the iPad Pro M1, which also has the same Face ID. And because I was talking about the heat generation and all those stuff, let's talk about the battery and charging, because that's the most important thing when you're buying any used phone. I learned a big lesson with the beta updates. Recently, I switched to iOS 17 beta, and the battery health went down from about 91% or so to all the way 81 in almost 2 months. Never update to beta updates at all, ever again, if you want to use a phone for a longer period of time. But with iOS 16 though, currently, the battery life is fairly good. It's good enough. If I charge it to 80%, I can use it, I can depend on it. That's what I can say. But it is not a great battery life overall. It still gives me about 5.5 hours of mixed usage, mixed screen on time. That's what I can say, but I don't game on it. But also, it means that the charging speed is quite good. It tops up from like 20% to 80% in real quick, like in 30 minutes or so. Anyway, as I was talking about the A13 Bionic, for a day-to-day performance, like opening up chat applications, iMessage, calling, cameras and all those stuff, it's pretty much fine. It can do every of those things. It can even run the higher end applications, heavy applications as well. The heavier stuff will be much slower than the newer generation phones, and it will also heat up a lot more. That will also degrade the battery health, also the battery percentage for sure. Now, even though this phone launched with a very subtle display, of thick bezels and all those stuff, but it was once a bestseller. And the reason is very simple. It was like a very watered down variant of the Pro and Pro Max at that time, and very much had the same camera systems. Now, in terms of photography though, I would personally say that this phone takes some amazing photos, even today, but under direct sunlight. If you go for like lower light photos, then yeah, they're gonna be noise, but it still has night mode, which do capture really well photos, but it's not the best I've seen. The ultra-wide-angle camera though, which is still a cool thing, under direct sunlight, amazing. But under low light, there is nothing you can see in it. It's just so dark and so noisy, not at all. The front-facing camera on the other hand is fine. It will be noisy all the time, but it's just fine. I like it. And if you want to know about the videos, you can actually check a lot of the videos on this channel as well. All of them, I mean 90% of the videos are actually taken by this device. So hey, it's really good. I depend on it. And the best part is that all of the cameras, the ultra-wide angle, the main camera and the selfie camera, all of them take 4K 60 fps videos up to. Now I will tell you about certain things that you might not think that these are problems, but these are in it. One of them has to do with the storage. When I actually ordered it, I didn't even look at the storage options. I thought it had 128GB at the base, but hey, it was 64GB back then. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm stuck now. But luckily at that time I had an iPhone XS Max 256GB model, so I was fine with it. But nowadays I kind of struggle with it. The 64GB isn't good enough. But also, this storage is stupidly slow. Like when I download something like the same application on my iPad Pro M1 and this one, I see a massive difference. Massive difference in two different scenarios. One in the installation time and the other one is actually download time. The installation time takes so long on this device, whereas on the iPad, it's just so quick. The same app, the same size. Why? It's just the storage is really slow. So that's one thing. And the second thing is the downloads. The modem on this one was pretty weak. I guess like it was not a good modem. It's probably from Intel or so, but it was a real weak modem. Whenever I try to download something big file in the Telegram, in my iPad, it is crazy fast. Whereas my iPhone can't even do that. My iPad can upload 1GB file on YouTube in about 3 to 5 minutes depending on the network speed. But my iPhone would do that same thing in 1 hour. I don't know why that is the case, but it always been like that. It is so damn slow. And the next two things are like this. There is no 5G support. Back then, Samsung only came out with a 5G phone. These phones are not 5G, so it's not entirely Apple's fault, but hey, so definitely do keep that in mind in the first place. And the second thing is that there is a stereo speaker system, but the problem is the loudness is much lower and the quality is good though, but the loudness isn't that much. Like I've heard louder phones than this. But yeah, one good thing is that it comes with IP68, so 2 meters for 30 minutes, yeah. Okay, it's time for the conclusion. Should you actually hold on to this phone anymore? Well, I think you should, only if you can wait just a bit more to get the iPhone 15 Plus, a proper successor to this phone at a much cheaper price than what it is currently selling at in your region. And if not, if you have the money, you're getting a great trade-in offer, you're getting a good deal by exchanging this phone or selling it off privately and just getting that phone, then just do it. Because the iPhone 15 Plus is the proper successor to the iPhone 11. And I can definitely say that. It also has the same green color if you are looking for it. I mean, really. But in case you are thinking of grabbing the iPhone 11 new from somewhere or used from somewhere, I'm just going to say like, skip this phone. Like, no, not this one. If you can spend just a bit more, then grab the iPhone 13 instead. That has all this, like all of the problems that I was talking about. All of these things are solved in the iPhone 13. But if you're really getting this phone at a much cheaper price in the used market for like $100, $120 or so around, yeah, you can grab it because you need to change the battery. So to keep that in mind and then just do it. That's probably my most honest review after using it for 3.5 years. And let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about your own iPhone 11 and what your experiences are? I still do love it, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna keep it for long. And yes, if you want, you can get some crazy cool wallpapers up on my website. Definitely visit my website, joindavid.com, link down below. So yeah, that's about it. Until the next one, bye and take care.